Off my chest. It says. I impregnated my married coworker and she had the baby. I'm in a really bad situation here. I've been working at the same company for 6 years now. I started off in a department with a girl who started 2 months before me, so we were basically new together. We would constantly rely on each other for help. Naturally we became close. A friendship, but there's always been a bit of chemistry. I was married when I started. She got engaged to her long-term boyfriend who also works at the company and eventually they married. My wife and I went to their wedding and everything. We eventually moved on from that department, both ending up in different departments, but still keeping friendly, eating lunch together, etc. This year we both went for promotions and got them, and winded up working in the same department together. This position involves traveling occasionally, conferences, dinners with big clients. I'm sure you can see where this is headed. Her and her husband have been trying for a baby for 2 years now. Her husband has low sperm count and other male infertility issues. She's constantly venting to me about it. We drank too much and went back to her hotel room after a dinner. We ended up having sex. It was nothing romantic or special. I ate her from behind and came inside of her. I instantly regretted it afterwards and we did not have sex again. She became pregnant shortly afterwards and told me that she thinks it's mine. I didn't want to believe it, but she was positive it was. She said it will be our secret. She had the baby a year and a half ago, and it is unmistakably mine. It's almost too obvious. Her husband is so happy to be a father, always talking about how amazing it is to be a father, asking me for tips. I'm so incredibly guilty about this that I can't bear it. I'm to the point of quitting my job because I just can't take the lie. The lies to him, myself, my wife, the child. It is so big of a lie hanging over my head that I can't bear it. Sunfire 420 says. You're not the victim here, grow up and face what you have done. Jag27 says. Wow, you're both. I feel so bad for that baby. User 9,372,889 says. And the man who thinks he's a father. The Devil's Joy says. And his wife. Kirina89 says. This is a huge mess and is punishing innocent victims, your wife, her husband, and the baby. You're going to have to come clean and blow up your life and the life of your affair partner. It's not fair to let another man take responsibility for your child while believing it's his. These secrets always have a way of coming out, especially now that 23andMe and Ancestry are so common. As hard as it will be, you have to admit your mistake and deal with the consequences. Better to deal with it now than in 15 or 20 years. Worshipper says. Yep. Pretty sure it could turn into financial legal liability, lawsuit style rather than child support style, too. Off my chest. Several Drive 20 to 22 says. My friend turned into a Bridezilla and I'm thinking of pulling out of her wedding. Before I 23 female start, let me say that I understand how stressful weddings are. I can't even imagine the stress of planning and hosting a wedding. When I initially agreed to be a bridesmaid at my friend's wedding, I was super happy to be able to support her on her big day. Little did I know that it would turn into a money-sucking event from a friend who shows no empathy for what's going on in my life. First, let's talk about the financial part. She 23 female chose Mexico as a destination, which cost all bridesmaids around $1,000. On top of this, she requested that we all had matching outfits for most of the days, including swimsuits and dresses, which I paid about $100. In addition to this expense, I have paid for the dress, shoes, and hair. I'll let her know I would not be able to contribute financially anymore to the wedding as I'm starting grad school full time. She let me know the other day she was requiring all of us to stay at an Airbnb and told us she'd pay for the first night, but would need help with the second night, $175. I told her I wasn't able to pay for this and that I wasn't even staying the second night due to school the next day. She let me know that I just shouldn't get my hair done and give her that money to her for the Airbnb. At that time I had been unemployed for a bit after moving and trying to find a new job. I let her know that I wasn't even going to be able to fully pay my rent that month due to my financial situation and the vet bills. In addition, she gave us all a list of groceries we need to bring to supply the bridal suite, which includes breakfast and lunch as well as alcohol. Secondly, on the morning of her bridal shower my dog had seizures. I let her know that I wouldn't be able to make it. She told me she understood, but then in a later phone call I found out she thought I had made up the seizures as a way to get out of the bridal shower. Sick, I didn't. Lastly, I wasn't able to get my class off. This class is in the middle of her wedding, and my professor said that due to the nature of the class, if I missed a session I wouldn't be able to pass the class. I talked to the bride about this, and we figured out a plan on how to make it work. The other night, I got an email saying that it was a requirement I took both days off, rehearsal and wedding. She had never told me that I needed to take the rehearsal day off, and that it was okay if I couldn't make it as I was going to be there for the rehearsal dinner. I sent her an email to confirm the time I'd be getting up there and then the class to make sure we are on the same page. She wrote back that she doesn't want to hear about my class again because she feels like it's more about how they can work the wedding around my schedule. She also let me know that she wishes I had taken the rehearsal day off because I have known the dates long in advance, although it hadn't been communicated to me in any capacity before that email. I understand this day is very important in anyone's life and I can empathize with the amount of stress she is under. However, I feel like she has continuously lacked empathy for what I'm going through and continues to want my financial support along with getting after me for her poor communication. I don't want to be at her wedding anymore and feel more stressed about going to the wedding than losing our friendship. And. Throwaway AOA says, I don't know how all of you people end up staying friends with these awful people. Like I'm so quick to end a friendship that no longer serves me. If you aren't, frick, I'm me, I'm not putting up with any bullshit from you whatsoever. Friendships are meant to bring people up, not weigh you down. Several Drive 20-22 says, seriously been thinking about telling her that I'm pulling out a month before her wedding. Throwaway AOA says, ditch the friend and keep the dog. The dog is never going to ask you to shell out thousands to be a part of an extravagant wedding lol. Angry Super Mutant says, what the hell kind of friends ML each other? Is this a thing? Sorry op, I think you're well within your rights to pull out. Also would be less of a headache in general mo. Apocalypse Joe says, don't set yourself on fire to keep someone else warm. Why are you even friends? Does she have any redeeming qualities about her at all? Lechuland says, that's awful, run, baby, run. Lecumus says, pull out now. Life is short. Your relationships shouldn't suck. Off my chest. The Raliosh says, I'm proud of myself no longer looking at trans or male porn to get off. Spent a lot of time watching an unhealthy amount of porn and trans porn from 15 to 21. I no longer get off to it and am now disgusted by it. I was raped by my boss and no longer questioned my sexuality when he did it. I've also spent an unhealthy amount of time pleasuring myself, just making myself sick in the process. I'm proud of changing my life around. Jock Boy says, have you undergone any therapy or counseling? Sad is intense for anyone, but it sounds like what your boss did had some long-term effects. The Raliosh says, Not just my boss, but the parents' abuse, my ex's excuses for not loving me. No, I haven't. I'm not okay. I struggle with depression and suicidal thoughts. Yeah, everyone does. I'm not special nor wanting attention. I haven't looked into anything with the current financial situation. Jock Boy says, I struggle with depression and suicidal thoughts. Yeah, everyone does. I'm not special nor wanting attention. Let me stop you right there, Chief. Regardless of what anyone else says, you are important, you are special, and you deserve the same love and attention as anyone else. I'm a guy in my mid-30s, and I've seen dozens of former friends, neighbors, and even family members adopt the same attitude toward their lives. And there's always at least one person, whether it's their kid or another friend or even a coworker, who genuinely cared about their existence who ends up hurting. I get that finances may not be the greatest for you right now. Sometimes, we have to find coping mechanisms just to get through, especially in this current world economy, until things might get better. You might need a healthy coping mechanism until you get financially better. It could be talking to a friend, working out, video gaming. IDK. I'm not a therapist. I'm just a guy saying that you are important, you do matter, and that you deserve attention. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.